How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Here at Marvel Bros. My name is Battery CEO. This is Sensei Finito, and welcome, Sensei. What are we checking out? What are we doing today?
Yo, oh my gosh. We have just experienced one of the best experiences that has ever been experienced in a long time. I'll be honest. Yo,
Yep.
we just got done watching The Batman by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson. We can't even call this man Pattinson anymore after this amazing performance that he gave. If you
He's
guys are new
Batman.
around here, yeah, he's Batman. He's
Batman.
Batman. If you guys are new around here, the way we do these movie reviews or reviews of anything is we have 15 minutes, non-spoilers, and then after that, we're gonna go full in with the spoilers for sure. So if you guys haven't seen this movie yet, just stay tuned for the first 15 minutes, and then after you watch the movie, you can always come back, watch the next 15 minutes, and get all that spoiler action and goody goodness. And make sure you guys join our Discord to stay up to date with all of our conversations and all that good stuff. And check out our website at www.marvelbros.com to purchase merchandise, to donate to us and help out what we do here, and all of that good stuff with the cherry on top.
Oh yes. And without further ado, please make sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Marvel Bros 23 on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and our YouTube channel. We post all of our content and much more.
Yes, sir. And with all that, and with all that being said, though, why don't you start us off, bro? How you feeling, man? Let's give first impressions first and foremost. Hey,
First
let me
off,
let me said Batman.
this movie exceeded all expectations. Okay.
I'm so happy that we can agree on that for sure.
The setting, the way Gotham was portrayed, the way Batman was portrayed, the way the
I'm getting
police
goosebumps.
was portrayed, the music spelt destruction,
Oh my
the
god,
plot
bro!
spelt
This-
destruction.
The soundtrack was amazing.
They might as well have nuked us with some,
Oh
like
my God.
with the amount of devastation we got.
Derpy Gaming said, "I told you."
And pure joy. All right. Blown away.
Bro, yeah. I mean, first impressions, I'm gonna say the same thing that you said. Like, everything was immaculate as far as Gotham went. I feel like we have never got to see Gotham like that. I know you haven't
Yep.
seen the Gotham TV show, but in real life, bro, if you watch that show right now, you will see that it's like what we saw in this movie. That's how Gotham is built up in the Gotham show, at least. And this Gotham made me feel like I don't know. I felt like I've never seen a Batman movie before. Like,
Yeah.
to be completely honest, like, everything was so damn good from start to finish. Yo, like, oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so that's our first impressions. Soundtrack was incredible, by the way. I mean, the music was on point. Like, the music was so beautiful, bro. Like, it matched every scene perfectly. They played the same song at the beginning and at the end of the movie, and it was a perfect, like, it set the scene quite literally perfectly, bro. And I just couldn't even believe it, bro. I couldn't believe it. Derpy says Gotham City was the best part for me. 100%, bro. It was crazy. My man Ben said the movie amazed me for sure, bro. El Baracho, what's up with it, Anthony? How you
How's
doing,
it going?
G? My man said, "What up, Marvel Bros? What's up, my man? I hope you're having a good night. Have you seen Batman yet? Let us know." Derpy says this was better than The Dark Knight as a Batman fan because of Matt Reeves' Gotham City. We're gonna go so deep into what you just said. Let me put a star on that because we're definitely gonna circle around back to that once we get into the spoiler part. Bedrock says, "Yo, what's up with it, Bedrock? How you doing, my man? Hello, how you doing, G? This movie was great and was executed well. This movie was executed perfectly, beat by beat. I feel like the only other time we were really hyped like this was when we saw Justice League Snyder Cut, because we knew that everything was in the movie. Like nothing was left on the cutting board for a lack of better words, you know?
Mhm.
Like, oh my God, bro. I have so much to say. So we're still in the non-spoiler section. So if you guys haven't seen it, just don't worry about it. We're not going to spoil too much. And if you guys have seen it, try to keep the spoilers down until we get to the actual spoiler section of the video. So, bro, as far as Battinson goes, what are your thoughts?
He killed it.
Spoiler-free thoughts right now.
He killed it. You know, I think his performance was among the best performances in the whole movie. With that said, everyone brought their A game on this movie. Riddler did great. Catwoman did great. Um,
Alfred, oh my God,
Alfred did
Alfred
great.
did
Gordon,
great.
amazing. Um, even like down to the police officers, even though like some of them had like really
Mhm.
did
You
very
talking about the
minor
dude with the
things.
stash,
Yeah,
right?
like
Yeah.
like what
Loved
they
him.
brought to the table, to the story, and kind of like the vibe that we get throughout the multiple different vibes that we get throughout this movie
Mhm.
was awesome. And
That's a good
I
point that you make
I
right
just
there
can't wait, man.
too. That's a really good point that you make with the different vibes that there were in this movie. Because while I was watching the movie, I was like literally trying, because you know our brains just work a certain way. We can't not think really when we
Hmm.
watch a movie, right? So I'm like, yo, somehow this man Matt Reeves has combined a buddy cop, love story, comic book. Like I couldn't even believe it, bro. Like what he did was like nothing short from literally amazing. Like this was a masterpiece, bro. Like as far as a movie goes, as far as cinematography goes, the shots that we see in this movie, yo, the car scene, the chase, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. I'm about to freaking lose my mind right now. I'm trying so hard not to say anything spoilery. Like it's really hard though.
The This movie had a lot of screensaver worthy moments.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that's probably the best way we can put that. Um, Multiple times throughout this entire movie, us and people around us were just like, "Yo, this movie is not playing around." Uh, with just the oh
Just anything. It wasn't
yeah,
playing around with literally anything that happened. Every single scene was thought out and like literally you could feel everything. Nothing in this movie was put there just to be there.
yep.
Everything mattered, bro. Um One of the things that I really appreciated was how much the things in the background mattered. The Riddler is this type of the Riddler, yo, was amazing in this movie. Oh my God. The Riddler was amazing.
It's
To
kind of
me,
terrifying how cool
he
it
was,
was.
yes,
He was
yes.
a force to be reckoned with.
He really
Let's just say
felt
that.
like a combination of like, okay, hear me out there, hear me out. He felt like a combination of the Riddler that we got from Jim Carrey and
Mhm.
Bane from the Batman movies, like in one
Yep.
person. Like, and he portrayed it perfectly because he was like smart and you could really it was like fearful, like you were
Mhm.
scared of like what the dude was gonna do, like you
Yeah.
didn't really had no idea. And I think even halfway through the movie I like asked you, I was like, bro, do you have any idea who do you think like we've seen the Riddler in this movie before or something that like yeah, yeah, this is amazing.
And I think someone like a couple people in the comments have kind of mentioned this. Maybe might have touched this on as well, but this movie gives us a portrayal of Batman that we've never seen before.
Oh yeah.
We've seen Batman, obviously. We've seen The Dark Knight. We've seen Ben Affleck's Batman. We've
And
seen
the other Batman, of
the
course.
other Batman's shows and movies, of course. But this movie really portrayed the detective level Batman that
Yeah.
we have not seen before, and it just gave us a whole different vibe. I can't explain it. I really can't. Like it's like I
No,
don't want to
you literally explained it perfectly just now, bro. It
like
we have never got to see Batman as the detective that he is. Ever. We have never got to see a proper live action portrayal of him literally finding what's going on in the cases and solving these things in the case that only he would see. one of the beautiful. Okay, not in the spoiler section yet. That was just amazing. Like we've never got, like I said that to Remy. Like I was, I was ranting the entire drive home. Like, oh my God, babe, I cannot believe that we really got this good of a Batman. And Robert Pattinson is the last person I would ever think to be like, no, this is Batman. Like, this is
Yeah,
Batman. Like, even the way his face fits in the mask was
yeah.
perfect. Like, it was perfect, bro. Like
You know
this is
what?
like Robert Downey Jr. being cast as Iron Man level. Like this is no joke. I'm baffled, bro.
That might be the only critique I have of Pat.
Oh
Like
what?
what you just said there. I didn't
His
really
face?
think about it. I didn't really think about it, but Hannah had mentioned um the way his body looked, like compared to being in the suit and out of the suit. Um, like in a lot of the
Mm.
stills that we saw prior or behind the scenes, we definitely know, and you could tell that there's a body double in the Batman suit for a lot, and for a lot of the stuff. And I didn't think about it until we were on the way home. I don't really care about it. But
I don't
when
think
like
so. I
there's a
don't
couple
think
moments
that's.
where he has his shirt off where I was like, man,
Mhm.
he doesn't look that big compared
I
to being in the suit. With that
I am.
said, the suit has
I can
armor,
feel.
it's
Yes,
just
that's the
yeah,
one thing is like I feel what you're saying, uh, for sure. But I am all for it because the armor, yo, it's really the armor on top of him because like that allows him to be so big and bulky. Because I thought everything really fit perfectly because even he had like those wristband things on his arm that kind of made his suit a little bit more bulkier. And my guy was getting shot by bullets and stuff. That's not a spoiler because that's in one of the trailers for sure. So anything that's in the trailer is not a spoiler. Um, so like, bro, I feel like it was perfect. He did seem a little scrawny in that one scene when he pushed the table. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that's what
That's the
you're talking
specific.
about.
That's the scene I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
I'm pretty sure that specific one that you're talking about. But I feel like it fits. I feel like it really fits where he's at in this era. Very Batman Begins ish, if you even remember that. Like Christian Bale was not as big as he was in the later movies in that movie. He was a smaller guy. He wasn't
Mhm,
really all that big yet. And then in the preceding movies, he slowly gets bigger and bigger. And I think
mhm.
that they're kind of gonna go for that same type of vibe because I'm pretty sure they want to do a trilogy with
Yeah,
Pattinson.
I think they did say they were supposed to get a trilogy. I mean, we talked about getting the is it like Gotham Sirens? No.
It's Gotham PD, I think something like that. It's
Yeah,
GCPD show,
yeah,
right? Are you
something
talking
like
about the
that.
show?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then another Penguin spinoff.
Mhm.
Um
That are
based off this
direct
movie.
connections from this. So
Mhm.
Peacemaker type of thing. Like you got the Peacemaker you got Peacemaker and Suicide Squad, and then he got
Mhm.
his own show. But with this, it's gonna be Batman, and then you're gonna have the GCPD. I
Mhm.
am super. Once we get to the spoiler section, which we're gonna get into very soon here, we're hitting that 15-minute mark. Um, I am really interested in seeing that GCPD show more than the Penguin show. I'm honestly
Yeah.
interested in both of them, but with the world of Gotham that has been set up with this movie, like the GCPD show is going to be ridiculous. I really wish you had seen Gotham because really, bro, like everything that we saw it was like really
Mhm.
close to Gotham. Like to be really honest, in some instances, it kind of felt like Robert Pattinson Loki looks like the older version of the kid that plays Bruce Wayne in
Mhm.
the Gotham show as well. It
Yep.
kind of there was like a little bit of incidents or aspects. There was a couple aspects where it was like, oh, I could see if this was low key like the backstory of the Gotham show kind of had some influence maybe here and there in just certain parts, not big parts, but just certain
Yeah.
parts here and there. Um, let's catch up with some comments right here. Derpy says Pattinson is better than any portrayal of Batman before. 100% agree. Um, it felt like seven. It felt like Seven meets Zodiac meets Taxi Driver just with a Batman. Yes, Zodiac vibes impeccable. Didn't even realize that Robert Downey Jr. is in that movie. By the way,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like,
I
what?
only know that because the trailer pops up on Netflix sometimes, and
Yeah,
you see him, and I'm just like, oh, I forget.
I totally I just had no idea. Derpy says this film isn't a kid's film, but
Oh
it's a
no.
treat for DC fans. I agree and disagree at the same time because there was like no blood. There was no like really out over the top scenes of like
I don't.
Batman like putting someone in a chokehold and like throwing
Mhm.
like there was nothing over the top in that way. Like someone dropped the F bomb one time, like early on in the movie, I think. And the way I kind of feel about it is like Shazam, how like Shazam was like a really crazy movie, but it's a kids
Mhm.
movie still, low key. That's kind of the vibe that I got with this, with like the grimness and the
The way
gritty.
I see it, I just don't think kids are gonna enjoy watching this movie.
Oh yeah, this is a 3-hour movie, bro.
This
Like I
Yeah,
don't.
like, and I think that's what
Yeah.
this and I think that's what he meant, but
Oh, I see what you're saying.
like, I could definitely resonate with that more because it's a long movie,
Oh
and,
yeah.
I felt the length, not because it was a boring
Oh,
movie,
I
but
did.
because today was a very long day, and I'm exhausted, and if you could and and I really had to force myself to really kinda stay awake because I was
Mm,
genuinely, like, exhausted, and, so I felt that length. With that said, I was hooked on this entire movie the whole way through,
yeah.
and it really kept me going watching this movie. But by no means do I think kids are gonna enjoy this movie at all. It's not like any other DC movie that we've really gotten before. Obviously, like Aquaman, obviously just the fight scenes, but the comedy's there. You could
Mhm.
definitely tell that they're trying to,
Yeah, it was
cater towards the
definitely
younger
adult
audience.
humor in here.
Yeah,
Like it was there, like it's nothing that was supposed to be inherently funny, but it's like as who we are and just kind of figuring out what's going on. It's like just some looks and just some things that happen. It's like, okay, yeah,
yeah.
like that's funny, bro. Like no cap,
Mhm.
that's funny. Um, Derpy says, I would say you have to educate yourself with certain Batman storylines
Oh, for sure.
before seeing this film. I could see that as well.
Well, there was three. I think there's three graphic novels that were released that are connected to this particular.
Canonically connected.
Yeah, with this movie. I don't know what was in them, but
Mm.
I know when before we watched the movie today, some of the people that I saw on our Twitter were saying you guys should totally read the graphic novels before you go watch this movie. Get a better idea what's going on,
Mm.
the vibe, and I don't know what they cover, but I'm assuming they cover a lot of the stuff that
Probably year one.
they talk about
Was it just
in
okay?
this
I'm
in the movie.
okay.
But
Let's catch
I
up
gotta
with
be
these
careful.
comments and then let's get into the spoiler section because we have a lot to talk about. Derpy says it was basically Burton's gothic architecture meets Nolan's realism.
Yep,
Yes, and I really love that gothic architecture tone that they gave it because
it
I
was a
feel
very
like
dark
that
film.
is the most Batman-esque thing ever. I feel like that's one thing that a lot of the other movies kind of failed with was
Mhm.
getting that gothic aesthetic because like Wayne Manor is like creepy in a lot of ways. Like you know what I mean? It's like and they did it really good, but it was really weird to kind of have it be a tower in the middle of the city. I felt like that was a weird thing. That was weird. Um I know, but Riddler though was why I'd say it isn't for kids because he felt like Jigsaw. I
Yeah.
agree, and I said that at one part of the movie. I was like, "Yo, what in the saw contraption is this?" Okay, at this point, you guys, if you guys have not seen the movie, I would encourage you to disappear or or just kind of put this in your watch later list on YouTube or whatever you're doing because we are going to get very spoilery right now. We're going to talk about all the things that we love. We're going to probably talk about key moments in this movie. We're going to be talking about big things, big spoilers right now. And we want you guys to know that. So that's why you can see this big spoiler alert sign right here, right now, because it's about to get spoilery. And if you guys are in the chat, it's time to get spoilery. So go ahead and let us know what you loved about this movie and all those aspects and stuff that you would only know if you've seen the movie. Um, so spoiler alert. All right. So, bro. Oh my God. The Riddler was probably one of the best. He's up there with like Heath Ledger's Joker, in my opinion, to be
Oh
completely
no,
honest.
dude! Like
Like, he was so good.
it's like a whole different fucking vibe. Like literally, like it's so
Yeah.
hard to even compare. But like in terms of like the devastation, the things he was able to do with like what seems like very little money, or like or following, and it wasn't obviously he does develop a following throughout the movie, but like for the most part, he does most of the stuff on his own.
Hmm.
Um, and he was very methodical with his thinking. The riddles he did were played out perfectly on screen. Um,
Perfect.
it genuinely shocked us in the audience, like some of the riddles and kind of like how they kind of played out. Like specifically, one example would be when they're in the church and the dude has the bomb on his neck, and he's like, "You
Yeah.
have to solve three riddles, and if you
Yeah.
answer them properly, then
Our
you'll
whole
survive."
damn theater was answering questions, yo. No cap.
Yeah, it was
We
it was
were
it was an awesome experience that moment.
yeah, that we were all super juiced about that, yo. Like, bro, I couldn't even believe the amount like having Bruce Wayne just disappear and then Batman show up and
Mhm.
the way that they utilize the darkness and the shadows in that first beat of the movie. Oh my god, breathtaking, bro. Breathtaking. I couldn't even believe it. They did such a solid job. And as far as it came to the Riddler, when you look at how the Riddler like his at towards the end of the movie, you see that he kind of had like a Reddit type of thing going on or something. I don't know
Mhm.
what that was, but he kind of had like that, like I guess a Reddit type of thing going on, and he
Yeah.
had 500 followers. And if you look in that comment section on the right hand side of it, you can see that they've been kind of talking and planning about different situations throughout almost the entire movie. It seems like when you start looking, because
Mhm.
I immediately was like, oh, let me dive into everything that's right here. They talked about getting the suits and the masks to look like the Riddler. They talked about what type of guns they needed to get. They talked about basically everything that
Mhm.
kind of transpired. And I really, really appreciated that. And I also appreciated the use of social media with him going live and different type of things like
Yep.
that. That's something that I really think should be in a lot of movies and shows now. I'll just make us like one reference. The Boys. We see that with
Stormfront.
Stormfront. I was about to call her Storm Nazi. Stormfront. Um, we see she's like always on Instagram Live or whatever, talking to followers and interacting with them, and that's something that would take place in this day and age. Just like everyone's just talking about everything. You know, I almost said something about Superman and Lois. I don't know why that came into my brain right now, but you know, they're going to use social media for something, whether it be for a good thing or a bad thing. And I really loved that. Even if you looked in the comment section for the Riddler stuff, there was people egging him on, encouraging what he was doing with
Yeah.
Gotham. People were like, "Oh, this is fire!" All this different type of stuff. So it really allowed you to see just a different version of the villain, I guess you could say. Like,
Yeah.
people don't even think no one really thought he was a villain except the cops and Batman through the entire movie. Like, you didn't see anybody kind of saying he was a bad guy. You saw people protesting outside of the mayor's funeral, and they have signs like, tell us all the lies, like, release the truth. They have this question mark on there. They're doing everything. Look, it really reminded me of the end of the Joker movie, how he had all of those people really
That's what I was about
following
to
him.
say. Like that whole following. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, and that's just the vibe it gave. It was so crazy to see like almost every iteration of Batman be in one movie. And yeah, bro, yeah, that was awesome. I loved Gordon. I loved Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. Oh
I
my
think
god.
just the relationship that
Oh my god.
Batman had with him was definitely not what I was expecting. This
Mm-hmm.
is definitely not the Jim Gordon that we see in The Dark Knight.
Mm.
This is
Oh
very much
no.
a very young, uh, much I don't want to call him a rookie, but he's kind of a rookie still. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's not commissioner at this point. Towards the end of the movie, I think they make him commissioner. I
I
don't know
don't
if
think
that
he
was.
ever
I
became
think he's just
commissioner
not like the main
verbally.
detective.
Yeah.
Since all the people that he was basically came up with are smacked, So
Smacked or they were on the other side.
yeah, and but that whole relationship was awesome, and the comedy that was they had between them wasn't like the comedy we'd see in like Aquaman or Shazam. It was very
Hmm.
much very like you said before. This was very a lot of adult humor in this movie, and I
Hmm.
really love that. I
Yeah.
wish we can see more of that in other films. Um, but the way that this movie utilizes dialogue, how it uses characters to kind of navigate between the plots, and like the with the club, and like going in with
Mm.
the whole drug ring, and oh, dude, like
I Okay, really quick, I have to just make a note of how much I love when movies and shows create some type of drug that's taking over their city or whatever. It
mhm,
happened in Arcane. It happens in Arrow on the Arrowverse. It happens in a lot of these different types of shows where they have this drug or this substance that takes over. And I really loved how they made a entire little world based around the drops, the drop, like they called them drop heads. And slowly throughout the movie you learn more and more about this dropping thing that we really have no idea what it is. Like they never give us a definitive answer on
mhm,
what it means to drop, what drop is, nothing like that, nothing at all. All they told us was, yo, this is a drug, we call them drop heads for people that use the
mhm,
droppers. And then I really, really liked at the end, towards the end of the movie, where they had all of the drop heads in refuge at like the Arkham Asylum place or whatever that was.
mhm,
I freaking loved that aspect, bro. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about that, but as far as it comes to when world building with different types of things like that, I really appreciate
mhm.
it so much.
Yep.
So much. Let's see. Derpy says I loved the narrative part for Bruce. Yeah, but yeah. The use of something in the way was the use of something in the way was perfect. You dig the feeling throughout the film. That might have been specific to something we were talking about in the moment, and I'm not sure what that's related to. This was darker than Joker, bro. Definitely darker than Joker, but not darker than Joker at the same time. I would
I think
like to
they're
say,
completely different movies.
yeah, it's hard to
With
put those
that
in the
said,
same category
a lot of what the Joker stood for, and what he really wanted to kind of do, or inadvertently do, is
from like a
very
society standpoint.
very much so did with what the Riddler did, but in a much better, much more anarchy style of way. That
Yes,
was way
Joker was
more
all about Joker is all
ferocious.
about anarchy and always has been about that type of anarchy thing. And the Riddler was more about, nah, bro, let's get this truth out. Let's do this, let's do that. And that's pretty much how the Riddler is in everything, I'd like to say. I'd like to say. Derby says this was definitive Gordon for me. I feel that 100. And then Bedrock says, I kind of wish we got a few more scenes with Alfred, but the scenes we got with him were great. Yeah,
And okay, there's a couple things I wish we could have seen. With that
mhm,
said, I think this movie set up a lot.
yeah.
Okay. Um, at this point, Bruce, um, not the type of Bruce that we see in the Dark Knight at all. Like he doesn't give
Oh
back.
no.
He's very much separate from like the company and like his Batman. Like he doesn't even want to deal with the company. And
Hmm.
and like Bedrock was saying, all the scenes that we got with Halford were very good. And I think towards the end there, when he kind of realized, you know what, you really do mean a lot to me, Alfred. And I think that kind of woke him up, and really kind of, and not only that, the whole situation going on with Gotham, I think that really kind of opened up
Hmm.
his eyes, and the things that he saw with like the drophead epidemic,
Hmm.
and I think that really opened his eyes. And then like the mayor that was elected, like she wants to get him more involved. And I think that was a very much foreshadowing for him to be a lot more involved, to see the Bruce Wayne that we did see in the Dark Knight, in that he's doing stuff with the community, giving money like to orphanages and stuff like that. I think we're gonna see that next. Um,
I
but I
agree. Oh, go ahead,
but I
brother.
want to see more of Alfred. Um, I wanted to see more of him.
I agree with what you're saying, and I agree with what Bedrock is saying as well. But but I don't think I think we got a perfect amount of Alfred for where we are in Bruce Wayne slash Batman's life
Yes,
right now.
100%.
He does not, he's not the guy, that's not who he is yet. You know what I mean? What we see with him taking over the company and all of that stuff as far as it goes with the Wayne Enterprises and everything that we see in the Dark Knight trilogy. That's not that's not who he is yet. You know, in my what I see is he hasn't even like he doesn't even know about like the shadows and all that type of stuff. I can't think of what their name is at this moment.
League of
Like
Shadows.
Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, the League of Shadows. There you go. No, that's not what it's called. It's called the League of Assassins. He doesn't
Oh
even
yeah, yeah.
know about the League of Assassins. He
Well,
doesn't know
maybe
about
he does.
Ra's.
They just didn't talk about it.
I don't feel like
But
that's
like,
where
it didn't
he's
seem
at
like that's
yet.
the route
You know what I mean? I don't feel like that's what it is yet.
because in the
Just yet.
movie he talks about Alfred talks about training him. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the route they decided to go.
And that is more on
But we'll
par
see.
with what we see in the Gotham show as well, with Alfred being like I think that's kind of in everything, but like with the Gotham show, they really
Yeah,
flourished it
because
out that
he's
Alfred's like an ex MI6 or something
yeah
like that. It's
Pennyworth.
something like that.
There's a
Yeah,
whole show.
Pennyworth. Yeah.
It's on.
Oh, it is called Pennyworth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Pennyworth. It's
Yeah.
on Reels. No Stars.
Something. It's one of those. I think it is
Yeah,
Stars. I think it is
I think
Stars.
it's Stars for some reason or
I
Showtime.
don't know why, but it might be Showtime. But I just really appreciated it, and we're at the point right now in Bruce Wayne slash Batman's life where he's pushing Alfred away because, you know, we saw at the very beginning, he's like, "You're not my father." You know what I mean? He said that specifically because Alfred has been trying to kind of get into his life and help him out with all these different things and
Yep.
knows he's the only one that knows what's going on. So I feel like it was right. It fit perfectly with everything to have him as much as we did, and I know in the second movie we'll see him a lot more. You know what I mean? The Batcave wasn't even the Batcave all the way yet. You know,
Yeah.
we're year two Batman, so he's still the bratty kid basically. He's still that bratty
Hmm.
kid of being Bruce Wayne. uh and yeah, bro, I'm all for it. I love this. I love this. And one thing I see you guys kind of talking about it in the chat, and this is something that I also was thinking, so I'm gonna bring this up really quick. Riddler was straight out of freaking the Batman video game. Like straight out of there. Like
Yeah.
the way he used the riddles, the way everything happens, like bro, straight out of the Batman video games, bro. Like even Arkham felt like it was like really centered in that world of the video games that we saw that we've played. You know what I mean? Like the way that they interpreted a lot of the different scenes and scenarios that would happen, the way that what's his name? The Riddler like put the riddles together, all of that. Oh my god, bro. It was so amazing. It was so amazing. And it really reminded me of that type of Riddler. And I was really nervous about the Riddler coming into this movie. If you guys are in our Discord, you'll see like I was just like talking about something yesterday. Like, yo, why is the Riddler looking like this? Like, no, I'm tripping. That was the Firefly. My bad. That's not
Yeah.
Riddler. That was Firefly that I was talking about. But no, he's solid. But even before that, I was like, yo, I'm a little iffy about how the Riddler looks
Hmm.
in this. But I feel like this is his first rendition. This is his first yeah, his first rendition, his first I can't think of what the like his Mark
Appearance.
One. You know what I mean? The not his first appearance, but his first day, like his I don't know what to call it. But I feel like if we see the Riddler again, he'll be more in that suit vibe. You know what I mean? He'll
Hmm.
get more and more like the actual Riddler that we know now. I felt before he was all about the unmasking and all of that, and that's why he wore the mask in the first place. He was
Hmm.
looking like the Zodiac killer. I mean, even the way that they used even the way they deciphered his code was similar to how the Zodiac killer's code is deciphered with the whole double L thing because he says
Hmm.
kill for the Zodiac killer as well, at least. And then in this movie with the Riddler, the double L was for still instead of kill, and they kind of did that same parallel with how they did in the Zodiac movie. Um, And I loved it. I loved all of that. And I mean, like, I was really nervous about the Riddler going into this. I was nervous about this entire movie going into this, but God damn it, did they make me put my foot in my mouth, because I shouldn't have been nervous about anything.
Yeah,
Every single part of this movie was executed to the full extent, like full extent. Derpy says Riddler felt like Arkham Origins Riddler, 100%. The video games, baby. The prequel of the Arkham games. Yes. I mean, he's in the other Arkham games as well, and it's still the same type of vibe. And yes, I agree with Bedrock. Yeah, this movie did remind me of some of the elements in the Arkham games, 100%.
definitely the setting. Because the
Oh,
setting,
yeah.
yeah. And I think we mentioned it before as well, but the sets and just the vibe, the color scheme, everything just
Mm,
felt like Gotham. You know, like if Gotham looks a certain way, this is how Gotham looks in this
yes.
movie, and they did a great job on that.
Bro, I shit you not. Where the club is and how you come out under that subway thing, that's like a straight out of the Gotham show. Like that exact set. I swear they probably like took sets and just put them there instead, because like it looks so similar with certain issues. There's a specific scene that I'm thinking about with the Gotham version of Firefly that looks exactly like that place where they are.
Hmm.
Looks literally exactly like it. I mean, all the way down to the bars, my G. But that just might be because where they're filming at is a real world location, and it actually looks like that in real life.
Yeah,
But you know, who's to say? Um, I could not handle this movie at certain points. Like, bro, like it just overloaded me. I loved Selena Kyle, bro. Oh my god, her character was amazing.
I liked. I mean, okay, so the way they introduced her was
Mm-hmm.
cool. Got a little creepy. You know, it's just Batman being a
Yeah,
got a little creepy, but
that was
um,
mad sus.
yeah, it was kind of sus. We both looked at her like, "Yo, like,
Like my
what's our
man's
man
just
doing?"
watching her
uh,
undress, like zooming in on the yams. Like,
but
what's
like the
happening?
way that the movie did that also showed like her little cat cave with all her
Mm-hmm.
gadgets and stuff
With
that
their yeah.
I didn't even pay attention. I didn't even notice that, and you had pointed out. I was like, "Oh my god, you're right." Um, that was pretty cool. And then just
I
like
was analyzing this movie with a fine tooth comb.
and like the bike scene, like when they're on their motorcycles, the different shots that we saw
Oh
were
my
just
god. It was ridiculous.
it was just so
Bro, it
good,
was
dude.
so ridiculous. We didn't even like I don't even know like what we did to deserve a movie so good. Like this movie takes the cake for a lot of superhero movies, bro. Like a
It
lot
does.
of them. Like I gotta rework my list because of this movie. Like
This
what?
movie did what Winter Soldier did.
Yes.
Captain
But
America
on
and the Winter
a
Soldier. But
on a larger scale.
on a larger scale and with an actual L. I mean, in Captain America Winter Soldier, they take the L, they take an L too, and they kind of come back, but like they legit like the way this movie ends is just like there's no good in it, no matter what. Everything's devastated.
Yeah.
Gotham's changed forever with
Yeah.
what happened, you know, and it's just um not gonna be the same. And so I'm really intrigued to see what's gonna happen uh in the subsequent sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Um they have to happen, right? Like it'd be ridiculous if um
I'll be furious.
they don't pursue that. Yeah. Like they have to, like at this point. There's no going back.
Yeah. Derpy says the general audience is not ready for this film. It's a cinematic
It is.
experience. Paul Dano to me might be better than Ledger because Riddler in this film is straight up from the Arkham games. I don't know about that one, but I feel
Yes,
you.
they're as close, if not together, on thrones. For
Mm,
sure.
yeah, they're definitely side by side. Which is I think a cool nod that they did towards the end of the movie with my guy Joker being in there literally next to the Riddler in the cell.
Hopefully it's Joker.
Like,
We're like
nah,
99% is Joker.
I'm not 99%. I'm
I don't
100%
know.
sure that's Joker. And if
I
it
will
was
say
anyone else laughing like that and having that, because you could literally see the smile in his face, like from
Because there was a
they
moment he
tried to
looked
keep it
like
like
from
this,
Arkham. He did.
but he went like that, like he was like it went up a little bit, and you could see like the smile literally in my guy's face, yo, amazing. Um, Andrew Casal, I think Batman 1989, Batman Begins, and Mask of the Phantasm are better. All right. Uh Daniel, I know who Andrew is. Andrew is the I know who Andrew is. Yeah. We know Andrew from Discord. His name is Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi Spider-Man from Discord. Yeah, bro. So you know
Bro,
who that guy is. Yeah.
bro, the
What?
dude, the dude who's in the relationship with in Eternals, the guy who controls people, who's like in a relationship with the girl Flash,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
He's the one that plays Joker
Oh, in this movie?
in this movie.
Oh, wow.
That's him. I wondered why I recognized his voice. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
I know this voice because remember we had reported that he was cast
Oh
in
shit,
this
we
movie a
did.
while
We
back.
did. You're
And
right. I forgot
I
all
didn't
about
see
that.
him in the movie, and Hannah had mentioned, "Oh, he's a police officer," and I was like, "Really? I didn't see a police officer that looked
Yeah.
like him." Um, but this makes sense. That was his cameo. Wow. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. Daniel, what's up with it? Daniel, how
how's it
you
going,
doing,
Daniel?
G? It has been a while. My man says, "Some guys, it's been a while. We miss you, man." Derpy says, I only have one complaint. That was the privileged line to me, but it works because of the story. That's funny that you said that because someone behind us literally had that same issue. And I'm not trying, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say, but it's not that bad. I think it worked perfectly because literally they were all privileged. Like Catwoman is the one that says it to Batman on the top where they're next to the
Oh
bat
yeah.
signal. And she's like, yo, it's them and all their privilege of da 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 da, which is an accurate fact. Like they were definitely privileged. But yeah, I know why some people are not okay with the word privilege coming from a certain person of African American descent talking about you know Caucasian officials. But it's not an issue to me, but I can see how that could cause some issues for some people. Andrew says Jack Nicholson is better than Ledger. All right, bro. This is why
Andrew.
yo, Andrew's always he's
I
just street
forget he
trolling,
even
bro.
plays.
Yeah.
I just haven't really I haven't watched those Batmans.
Andrew's got to be like 57 years old, my guy, because he only likes the OG things. Like if it's Spider-Man, only Sam Raimi Spider-Man. If it's Batman, only Michael
Hey,
Keaton's Batman.
guy
It'd be
know
like
guy
that,
knows what he
but
likes. That's cool.
Derpy says Joker's laugh was good. It was very painful, very eerie, and very creepy. Yo, everyone around me was like, "That's not the Joker," and I'm like, "Bro." Even the niggas behind us was like, "No, that's not Joker. That's not Joker." And I'm like, "Bro, okay." I'm like, "You guys, it's the Joker." 100%, bro. Like you don't even have to. And then he starts laughing. I'm just like looking at everyone, like, okay, can we all agree now that this is Joker? My guy, I don't know. Like, talking about someone said Two-Face. I was like, what? He literally, you can see his entire face. There is no change. Like, I don't know, but it is what it is. Daniel says, I haven't decided if this movie is better than The Dark Knight for me, but definitely it has justified its existence as an outstanding interpretation of Batman, Bruce Wayne, and the world he is in. I can see how you could have issues because The Dark Knight is an extremely good movie.
The way I look at it right now, as a whole, right now, Dark Knight is probably the better movie. With
Yeah.
that said, if this movie gets a trilogy, and I'm like 100% sure it is, it will get
Mhm.
its own trilogy. And if they kill it as much as they did this movie, every movie, it'll be
Yeah.
better than the Dark Knight, 100%. But right now, as it stands alone, I don't think it's better than the Dark Knight. In terms of what the Dark Knight did with all the
Wait.
other movies combined.
Oh,
But
I was like, wait, what?
yeah, but once
This
this trilogy is complete, I'm sure it's going to outshine that
This
trilogy
movie,
and a lot more.
for me, this movie is better than The Dark Knight. 100%.
Mhm.
100% better than The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger being the Joker in that movie is like one of the only reasons I feel like that movie gets put up so freaking high. Because when it comes to Christian Bale and his portrayal of Batman, it is good. But like my issue with every single Batman we've ever seen, we never get to see how he's a detective, yo. Every single animated movie ever that has Batman in it, even if Batman is doing a freaking cameo in an animated television show, they show how much he is a detective. Period. Right? And no other Batman movie in the history of live action Batman movies have showed him being a real true detective. We have never seen Detective Batman literally ever in a live action form. It's always just, oh yeah, here's the bad guy, Batman. You know how to beat them. Now beat them. And that's just basically it. But in this movie, we see step by step him solving clues, finding clues, solving riddles, and all of that. We see it step by step in a real life way that he would do it. Like, it's not like, oh, hey, I'm typing at this computer and instantly know everything in 1 second. In one little scene, I know everything that's happening. Because that's how it's been portrayed up until now. Like, you'll have him and Alfred talking. He does a little bit of typing on a computer, and it's all right there. And then he doesn't really go back to that state again. Like, he's not really a detective again. Like, it's just, okay, that's it. Next. So that was, I'm really juiced that we got to see him be this true detective, not for like one scene of a movie, not one scene, not two scenes, but through the entirety of this movie, we saw him be a detective from literally start to finish, yo. Like, he had to be a detective the whole time. And it may just be because, like, I think that might be one of the biggest reasons why they chose to use the Riddler, is because you have to solve these riddles and all these things and make it more of a detective case type of vibe. So I think that's really what it is, yo. I think that's really it, yo. Yo, Andrew, bro, I'm sorry, bro, but at some point, my guy said Jack Nicholson is more creepy with that permanent smile, bro. I just can't. I don't know, man. All right, bro. Whatever
Maybe I just need to
you
rewatch.
have
Maybe,
your opinion,
maybe we need to
100%.
rewatch.
Yo, you have your opinion 100%, and that's fine. Derpy says The Dark Knight is a great movie, but this film is a Batman movie we always wanted on screen. There we go. That's it, bro. Like, that's
Probably the best way to put it.
100%. That's the best way to put it, yo. It's a great movie, but we've never got Batman being Batman ever. Like, really, we haven't. We only get portrayals of Batman. We don't get honest. I can't think of what the word is. And I can't think of what the word is, but we never get like that honest iteration of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been Batman portrayed from the creator's point of view. Zack Snyder, it was his point of view of how Batman is. With I don't even know who made the Christian Bale ones right off the top of my head. I was really young when
Christopher
those
Nolan.
came out. There we go. I couldn't think of his name. Christopher Nolan. It was his point of view of how the Batman is. But I feel like Matt Reeves is the only dude that knows about Batman. Like, I don't want to say it like that, but I feel like he's the one that really did his research on the character of Batman. And not only that, but this is a young Batman, year 2 Batman. And already he's more of a Batman than every iteration of Batman that we've had. So for me, that sells it all off tops, bro. Like, I love it. I love it. And I think we talked about this a lot. A lot. We were like, we're nervous for his portrayal of Batman, but we're even more nervous for his portrayal of Bruce Wayne. How did you feel about his portrayal of Bruce Wayne?
We didn't see him as Bruce Wayne.
We didn't see him a
And
lot.
That's the only complaint I got. But this movie sowed the seeds to see more of him in later on. I
think you even brought that up with the mayor saying something about that.
Like, the mayor asked him, like, "Yo, like, if I get elected, I want you to be more prominent in the community." With that said, obviously the stuff that came up with his dad might be difficult to kind of deal with. But I think that's going to be another thing that helps motivate him to do more as a Wayne. Um, kind of redeem himself, redeem his the legacy that his father kind of or that the Riddler kind of exposed.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's going to be pretty exciting to see on screen because, like, are we going to get the Playboy, like the Playboy type Bruce Wayne, or because like this is a very different version of Batman that we've seen in like Affleck and Christian Bale. Like he's really dark. Like he
Mhm.
really like uh, he's very much a loner. And at the beginning of the movie, like it's very clear that he doesn't like how Alfred likes to tries to be like the father figure. Um,
Mhm.
and I think he opened up a little bit with Catwoman in this movie. Obviously everything that kind of happens that gets Alfred injured, that I think kind of woke him up. Seeing Gotham the way it was and seeing how Gotham was being exposed, seeing who was corrupt within Gotham, I think really
Mhm.
kind of woke him up in this movie. Um, Another fun, interesting fact that you brought up in the movie, but I had a thought thought it from the very beginning when we first showed up. The kid of the
Oh
first
yeah.
mayor obviously is Damien, uh, from which eventually is Robin.
No. Dick Grayson.
I don't think it's Dick Grayson. I think it's Damien.
Damian is his son, dog. His name is Damian Wayne.
I'm sorry.
Tim Drake,
The not his
bro.
son, but like the
y-
suit that Damien wears, the red ninjas, like kind of like the red and the sword vibe that Damien has. That kid, that costume the kid was wearing, I thought that was kind of like a
Mm,
callback to that. Um, but he popped up multiple times. He has to be Robin
yeah,
or
yeah.
like a sidekick of some sort. Like I.
And a little bit of awesomeness that I really loved right here, yo, is that they had my guy Tim Drake from Titans. I know you haven't seen Titans yet, but they have my guy Tim Drake from Titans as being one of the bad guys at the beginning of the movie. And I loved that. I was like,
Mhm.
yo, this is my guy from Titans, yo. And he has a major role in Titans in the newest season that we saw. And it's amazing. He's amazing. He's a dope actor. He has a dope role in that movie in the show, and I'm pretty sure he's going to become Robin in the future of Titans if that show does continue on. Because with all the stuff WB is doing right now, we don't even need
Mhm.
Titans anymore. But I love that show. Don't get me wrong. And I was ecstatic. So that is the first thing that made me think, okay, either he's going to be like the Dick Grayson Robin, and then the other one will be the future Robin, or the kid will be the Robin first. Because the way they had that first like stare off
Yeah, I was like
in the
he
house,
was
I
like,
was like,
man,
ah, bro, 100%, yeah, 100%, bro. This kid's like me. I'm like this kid. We're gonna click together. And then at the end of the movie, the kid was the first one to take his hand in the flood, and I was like, oh, yep, bro, there we go. That's it.
yep. Trying to think.
Daniel says, I like Robert's portrayal of Batman slash Bruce Wayne because you can see his line of thought, especially his wits in crime solving.
Yep.
Can't be world's greatest detective if you don't solve crimes, bro. And that's my whole issue with every single Batman iteration ever up until now. Derpy says, I don't want to hear shit about Twilight for Pattinson after this film. 100%, man. I
I've
agree
always
with
had
you
faith in his
completely.
ability to act, though, man. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people see Twilight as like a damper.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, it was among the biggest, movies of his time because of
Yeah,
how big the
facts.
books was. So I'm sure, like, but like for the most part, that's all that people know him for. They don't know about all the other movies that he's been a part of.
People don't
Uh,
even give my man credit for Harry Potter anymore. It's just
yeah, like
straight
I
Twilight.
forgot he was even in there when I rewatched it. Uh, but yeah, I think this movie is going to expose him to an even bigger audience. If not, um, really get him to a level at which he was when he was in Twilight. With that said, I don't even think he cares.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot like we talked about, like he hasn't been in major projects. like to this level for a while. He's just been grinding it out, doing
Yeah.
what he wants to do. He's happy, making money, you know. So, and I applaud him for that. I applaud him
Yeah.
for that.
100%. When you say who's Batman, I'd say Pattinson after seeing this film. No,
Oh yeah,
100%, bro. Pattinson is the one, yo. Like he is Batman now, the way Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr. Like that's how it is. Because I feel like we all were default on Christopher Nolan, kind of on the Christopher Nolan's Batman. I don't think it was like, oh yeah, he's Batman for sure. This
mhm.
is Batman. It was like we don't have anything better. Like, and I don't want to say it like that, but it was like, Batman. Yeah, he's Batman. But now it's like, bruh, no, bro. Robert Pattinson is Batman, bro. Like, he's Batman. Like,
Yeah, and he's here to
I
stay.
love it. Yeah, exactly. Daniel says, in terms of rewatchability, The Dark Knight probably has more appeal due to spectacle. The Batman is definitely the Batman movie we needed, but it's 3 hours long and it's a bit exhausting for the general audience.
I agree.
I feel that, man, and I
I agree,
just
but I also it depends. Like for me, I was exhausted already, and I was just like I'm dying right now as we speak.
the
But
Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is
oh,
2 hours and 30 minutes. The Dark Knight Rises is 2 hours and 45 minutes. Batman Begins is 2 hours and 20 minutes. So it's really not that much bigger. It's not that big of a jump between those movies. But as far as you said, like when it comes to spectacle and everything, there
that
definitely
yeah,
can be more reeled in with the Dark Knight because there's more things happening
because
on the
like that
screen.
those movies felt really fast. Not saying that this movie didn't, because that, up to a point, it felt like it was just moving, and then I asked myself like, "Damn, like what's the end gonna be?" Because it just
I
kept
did the same
escalating
thing.
and escalating and escalating and escalating. I was like, "Oh my god, it's still going!" And then my phone died. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this."
When the freaking when the dams blew, I was like, yo, is this the end of the movie? And we still had like 45 more minutes. I was
Yeah,
like, oh my God, what's happening right now? This is amazing. I'm so happy. Every time I thought this movie was gonna end, it didn't.
yeah,
And that's something that I freaking love for movies. Derpy says Bruce in this film, he's a loner that would totally dress up as a bat. Facts, man. Facts. I really loved the emo vibe that they were giving him because you can tell that he's basically never stopped brooding from his parents' death. Like he's just always like he even makes the comment of this me doing this is repaying them or whatever he says something
mhm,
along the lines of that. Like I am honoring their memory by doing what I'm doing right now. Because I think Alfred says you need to honor your parents' memory by taking care of the business, and he's like, I'm honoring their memory by doing this. So it's like I feel like everything was perfect for where we're at in the life of Bruce Wayne and in the early days of being Batman. I feel like
yep.
it was a perfect blend.
Did you think?
Bedrock's oh,
Do
what?
you think? And this is one of the things I talked to you before we went in. Or this is one of the comments that I saw on Twitter was that they wanted to see more of kind of what went down with the death of his parents. But I feel like the way they went about it in this movie was perfect.
Yes, they did the Spider-Man thing. The Spider-Man thing. Like
Because it like
we
it didn't
know
repeat.
Batman's
Yeah.
backstory, and it wasn't even the same backstory, really. Because it
Yeah,
was
that's it.
like
They
the
definitely
dad
kind of
was
changed it
running
up a
for
little bit.
mayor. They weren't leaving the opera. It wasn't like a rob in the middle of the alley with the pearls and Martha clutching her pearls as the guy rips the pearls off. Like we didn't have to have that tired ass same backstory, bro. That we already know it happens the same way they did with Spider-Man. We did not need to see my guy Uncle Ben get shot for a 17th time. It just
Yeah.
wasn't necessary. And
We
it
just saw
wasn't
Aunt May die,
necessary in
you know.
this film. Yeah. And it wasn't necessary in this film either. It was not necessary at all for him to be for them to show us the death. The way they did it, like you said, it was perfect, showing that he was running for mayor, all that other stuff happening afterwards. Boom, I loved it. I loved it, bro. 100%. Bedrock says I was immersed in this movie and it didn't really feel that long. There was always something on screen and it kept me on my seat. That's how I
Oh
felt
yeah.
as well. like I had to go to the bathroom before the movie because I was like, bro, I know I'm not about to get up out of my seat for this. And there was not one point where I was like, what's going on? This scene is taking too long or anything like that. Like I loved it. Every minute of this movie was utilized perfectly.
100%.
Daniel says, I like how the Riddler makes fun of Bruce Wayne's hardship of being a billionaire orphan
That was intense.
compared to Riddler's own poverty and trauma. Yeah, I agree.
That
He's
was
like,
intense.
oh, poor me. I'm on the top of my tower looking down on everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people, you know how many orphans there are in an orphanage? 30 people to a room. I was like, oh. I really thought Riddler knew that Batman was
Yeah,
Bruce
that's what I was
Wayne,
about to I really
too.
thought he was about to expose him and, like, because it seemed like that's what the video was about, but I didn't realize before he got to Arkham, I didn't realize they needed a password to see the video. I thought it
Yeah.
was just, um, oh, like, he was gonna watch it while they're gone, and it's gonna kinda expose him, and then he's gonna become, like, a wanted fugitive, and so I thought that's what was happening, and then it didn't happen at all. Uh, I didn't expect them to flood the entire like, um, at one point, because there's a moment in the trailer where you see them walking in the water with the red flare, right? Like, it's in
Mm,
the trailer, and, like, there was a point where I asked myself, "Where's the scene even at? Like, how are we even gonna
yeah.
get there?" Like, I was wondering like, I figured when he got in the nightclub, like, to help people get out of the dark, that'd be, like, somehow, like, that would but then,
Yeah.
like, I was, "Okay, that didn't happen there, like, what's gonna happen?" And then, like, um, you notice the blinking lights on the floor, and I was like, "Oh my god, the room's about to blow up," and they're like, "No, Vans," and I was like, "Oh," and then, then we see them blow them up, and then the water comes through, and then, like, yo.
And it literally floods the city. You know how many people died? Like
Oh,
a lot
a
of
lot of people
people had
must
to
have died.
freaking die, bro. You see that building of like made out of straight glass, and the water just rushes in the building while people are running away, and they're all just getting swept up. Like, bro, I was like, oh my god, this is literally They started the movie with a huge event, and that's not some like usually the event gets foiled in movies like this, especially
Mhm.
Batman movies. Like, it
Yeah.
gets foiled. The plan is foiled. Well, except with Bane and all the stuff that Bane did to to Gotham, because Bane like messed up Gotham. My guy was not playing in that movie. And that was awesome. I loved it, yo. Derpy says it's a Batman film worth watching multiple times, regardless of the time length. Like I said, it's a cinematic experience. 100, brother. And then my man Daniel, that was a brilliant part one of the trailers to make us believe the Riddler knew that Bruce Wayne is Batman. I don't think anyone outside the studio saw that coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%, bro. I think one thing as well that really helped us with this movie was not watching all of the trailers. Because we watched
Yeah.
like maybe two
I
of
think
the
watched 2
official
and that was it.
ones, and that was it. And that's probably going to be the strat that we go on from now on for sure, because it really helped build hype for the movie, for us and for the channel as well. And then we didn't get anything spoiled. Like, I think I even said it in the movie. Like, while watching the movie, I was like, bro, we got the best trailer for this movie ever, because there was no way we could have saw any of this coming. Like,
Yeah.
we get that
No
diner
shot.
scene at the very end of the movie, and it didn't even feel like it was a spoiler, though. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't feel like it was like, I can't believe they put that there. It was just
Mhm.
like, oh, I thought this was like the beginning of the movie, low key. Like, I thought that's how the movie started. Like, I didn't even know that. I didn't know what to expect, and it was amazing. It was all awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Now
Hold on, real quick. I took a couple notes while we were in the theater because I wanted to talk about certain things. Um, Contacts. Oh my god, the way that Bruce Wayne, the Batman, had the
Oh,
contacts
yes, yes.
that were digital, loved it, because when I was watching the movie and he was looking around, I was like, 100% he has to have something that's taking pictures of everything, because I instantly thought of the video game, and that's how Batman works in the video game. He has like his visor on his face, and he can like zoom in and look at all the stuff, and it'll give him more information or whatever. And I loved that they paid that off with when he took the contact out, and you can see like the digital stuff around it, and then he allows Selena Kyle to do the thing as well. Loved it, bro. That was amazing. Um, I really also love the use of no dialogue. There are stints in this movie where there's like 3 to 5 minutes of
Mhm.
no talking and just showing what's happening. And that is the best form of storytelling and world building that there can be when there's not someone just spewing out lines of dialogue saying what this is and what that is. I think at the beginning of the movie, it's like a full 2 to 3 minutes before someone actually talks. And then after that, it's like another 3 to 5 minutes before someone talks again. And then it happens multiple times in the movie where there's just
Mhm.
no talking. Third thing that I put down was personal theme songs. I don't know if you noticed, but through the whole movie, Batman had his theme song that we hear the first time they show us the Batman reveal suit when he's walking out in the teaser or whatever, and
Mhm.
then we first see it's like dun dun
Yeah.
dun. That theme played several times throughout the movies, through from different instruments, different octaves as well, but it was still the same
Mhm.
notes, different pitch, I guess you could say. And I really, really freaking loved that. And Selena Kyle also had her own personal theme song as well, and it was a little daintier and whatnot, and I loved it. Commissioner Gordon, freaking loved Commissioner Gordon. Everything about him was solid. He's not the commissioner yet, of course. He was like a detective or a head detective. He was something like that. I
Yeah.
loved him. Everything about Gordon was awesome. I loved when he was talking to Batman after he told everyone to get out of the room. I loved how Batman woke up and was really ready to solo everyone in the police station. I freaking loved that. Like, my guy did not care. And then when the dude like came from behind him and tried to rip his mask off, and he just turned around and was like, ah, like, bro, that was 100%. I loved that, bro. It was amazing. And then what I really, really loved was everyone called Batman Vengeance. That was one of the dopest little like, I don't want to call it an Easter egg because it's not really an Easter egg, but like a little Easter egg that they had throughout the whole movie. Catwoman calls him Mr. Vengeance. Even the bad guys are calling him Vengeance. All of that. And I loved it. And I was paying attention to it so much that when the Riddler clone at the end said, I am Vengeance, it was just an even bigger payoff for me personally, because I was like, oh, because like the whole movie, like all I pictured was Batman being Vengeance. And then for that same ideology that he had to breed like a cult of evildoers was freaking amazing. I loved that. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I also talked about the parallels to the video game. I had that as a note in here. And then the seeds in the background of the chat live feed. And we already talked about both of those. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick because I really love those aspects. And I loved them so much that I had to write them down on my phone in the middle of the movie because I was like, bro, I gotta talk about this because it really stood out to me so much, bro, when they kept calling him Vengeance. Oh my God. It got my Ghiblies all tender. Wait. Yeah, okay. Derpy says the chemistry with Gordon and Batman, but the tension between the cops was awesome. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
And they set that up really early on, and that was really cool because it kind of set
You're
us
gonna work with
it
this
gave
freak?
yeah, it gave us a really different vibe than we ended with. Well, we got like 4 or 5 different vibes between police and Batman. Like it was wild.
How did you feel about the circle storytelling of the first murder weapon being the very thing that they need to solve the riddle at the end? How did you feel about that? Because I really, really liked it.
The Riddler was just awesome, man.
Bro,
He does what he does.
Riddler,
Everything he did had a purpose, man.
everything he
Uh,
did on purpose.
and he shined in this movie, man, on a whole different level of villainy. Um, and he's not dead, which is a plus. Because for some reason, all great villains seem to be killed off in a lot of superhero movies. So it's
Mm.
good to see him alive and 100% probably return along with the new Joker, whatever that might look like. I don't know, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, and then Daniel says, "I honestly didn't know who Paul Dano as an actor was, and I'm glad I didn't search him up before the movie because I wanted the surprise of seeing how the Riddler looks like. I still don't know who Paul Dano is. I'm not even going to
So
cap with you.
I've seen him in a couple different things. The one movie that I've seen him in that really resonates to his Riddler character is Prisoners with Hugh Jackman and Jake
Holy
Gyllenhaal.
crap! This guy looks wild.
And in that movie, almost the same vibe, except in Prisoners he has a mental issue, like to where I don't I don't think he can communicate really well with other people.
Mm.
And that was but that whole vibe and the times when he did talk, um, felt like the Riddler, man. And he just played that role so well.
Seeing this guy as seeing Paul Dano and how he looks and seeing how he just did as the Riddler, it kind of gives me some solace to how good Adam Warlock's character was going to be for the character that we have him cast as. Because I feel like that character's never had a chance. That actor hasn't had his like breakout shine moment. I haven't seen The Maze Runner either, but I'm pretty sure he's in that, and I know a lot of people like him for being in that movie. But as far as just regular, like I've only seen him in like comedic movies and be like the comedic humor and all that type of stuff. We're the Millers, they kind of do him dirty. So when I first got that cast, when we first heard the casting, I was like, gee, this is not the strap for Adam Warlock, the guy who is the literal main
I really thought it was going to be
of the
Zac Efron or
actual
something.
Infinity Saga. Yeah, that's who we had casted as Adam Warlock for at least like 2 years solid. We were like, oh yeah, Zac Efron. And then last thing that Daniel said, I don't know if it was meant for comedic relief, but I found it hilarious that the Batman was escaping the police station and
100%.
countless
They
officers were
funny.
scrambling after him like chickens to food. No, I'm pretty sure our entire theater was laughing when they were like, ah, like they were running and they like all crashed into each other. And then my man just ran and was like, okay, here we go. This is one of my favorite parts of this movie. And I'm going to explain it to you why after I tell you what's my favorite part. Right after that, when he gets on top of the gargoyle and he's about to jump and he gets scared. That's the first time we see a hint of fear in this entire movie from him, other than the stuff with Alfred, of course. But that's the first time we see him hesitate in the whole movie. He was like running full force, and he got there and he was like, oh my God. And then he like wrapped his suit around him, put out the bruh, and then just took off of the bruh. I literally almost shit bricks at that point of the movie because it was so beautiful and it reminded me so much of flying through Gotham in the Arkham games, doing the gliding, the way he was gliding around the buildings and through the city. Oh, bro. Oh my God, bro. Beautiful. Amazing, awesome. The car chase was amazing. The way they utilized the video being on the side of the car. Oh my God, bro. That cinematography was awesome, bro. This movie was awesome.
Yeah. That's about all I got. This movie was incredible. I can't wait to see what happens next, man.
This was better than The Dark Knight as a Batman fan because of Matt Reeves' Gotham City. Oh, yeah, I forgot I pinned that earlier.
Oh, yes.
I loved Gotham in this movie. We have not, I don't think we've seen Gotham before, to be honest.
Not this level. At least I haven't.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, that's all I got as well, bro.
Now, on the Marlboro scale, man, I think I already know what it is. But what are you putting this movie at?
Bro, I'm giving this 5, bro. I'm 100%.
I'm giving this one a 5 as well, man. This is our first 5.
Yeah.
here at Marlboro's, which is awesome. A monumental moment.
For real.
And you guys have been here to witness it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
This was, oh my God, bro. I couldn't even believe. I literally was so happy that I was like grabbing battery and like shaking him. I was like, bro, do you see what's happening? I was like, oh my God. Like, I wanted to stand up and just like run throughout the theater because I just had so many adrenaline.
So many cool things happen, man.
Just sheer happiness that we got to experience this movie, bro. I honestly don't even know if I would have been able to handle this in 40X for that long. like that long of a period of like being thrown around. I don't even know if I would have liked that. Like the Screen X one, for sure, that would have been solid. But all the shaking and stuff, like that would have just been too much for that long. It definitely would have kept us all awake. Probably would have sent Remy into labor early, but you know, other than that, it was solid. Akash, my boy.
How's it going, Akash?
Talking about, do you recognize me? Of course we recognize you. You're like a OG around here, Akash. Like literally, you're one of the first people to really be commenting consistently on our videos and joining the Discord and all of that. Of course, we remember you, Akash. We hope you're doing well, and we can't wait until you see this movie as well, because you know that we got you on all the DC movies, bro. So this one
you gotta watch, bro. This is next level.
Amazing. Kosh said, yo, 900 subs. Yeah, you've been here from like what? I think it's like you've been here since like 300, maybe. I feel like 3, like maybe 2. I think not 2. I feel like
Just the finale of WandaVision, I think.
Oh, yep. And that's when we got like our 300 mark too. So yeah. It's been a long time, and it's been it was an eventful 2021 for sure. We gained like 700 subscribers, I'm pretty sure, in 2021. But yeah, yo, much love to you, Akash, and I think that's it. Yeah, man, this was solid. 5 out of 5 for both of us here at Marvel Bros.
100%. But man, what a night, what an evening. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any other additional thoughts, please make sure to follow us on all of our social medias, and let us know. At Marvel's 23 on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and our YouTube channel. We'll post all of our content and much more.
That is right. And you can make sure to definitely check us out on our website at www.marvelbros.com, where we are always having amazing stuff on there. You can purchase our merchandise. You can get some mugs. You can get a pillow. You can get a t-shirt. We're trying to come up with some more merchandise too. Today we saw some awesome mugs that we want to put our faces on, and you guys might be able to cop some of those. So yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned with us with all of that good stuff, and join our Discord to stay up to date with all of our content and discussions, because we have been doing a lot of awesome stuff around these parts, and there's only going to be a lot of more awesome stuff to come, especially with Moon Knight around the corner, Multiverse of Madness, and I think we have 2 other crazy things coming out this month that I just can't think about right now. Morbius and something else. Was it this movie that we were just talking about right now? I think it's this movie.
I think it's
the Batman. Yeah, the Batman, Morbius, Moon Knight, and I feel like there's another one that I'm missing that's coming out in March that we're hyped for, and I just can't think about what it's called though. It's like right there on the tip of my tongue.
There's a couple things coming out in March.
I feel like it's a show, maybe. I don't know. I can't think of it.
Moon Knight? No.
It's another thing. I can't think of what it is, but I know we're like hyped for it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. But
we'll find out.
Awesome. Yeah, this was awesome. Make sure you guys stay tuned with us and all that good stuff, because we are definitely about to be soaring through the sky. Oh, Akash got another question. Last question, Akash, and then we're out of here. By the way, I watched the last DC movie of Snyder Cut, so is Batman the next I have to watch, or any other movie? As far as the Snyder verse stuff goes, I think Shazam might be the next thing that you should watch.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Shazam, Shazam's the one to watch. Then the next Wonder Woman, what's it?
Suicide Squad. You got to watch the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker.
Oh yes, those. Yeah,
because those are in the DCEU. Yep. Bedrock says, "Great stream. See you guys later. Much love to you, Appreciate Bedrock." And yeah, that's it from us. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned. All that good stuff. Ain't that right, Battery?
Oh yes, 100%, man.
Yep. And with all that being said, thank you guys for tuning in with us on another awesome movie review episode, open discussion of Marvel Bros. You know we do this all the time here, so make sure you guys stay around, hit that sub button, because we're going to be going live and talking about a lot more amazing stuff. And you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Just type in that Marvel Bros on the podcast thing. You'll probably be able to actually listen to this discussion as well on the podcast. So yeah, big vibes. Battinson forever. Battinson forever, bro. I'm so happy. Much love to you guys. We hope you have a good one. Excelsior.
Peace.
Marvel Bros. Pop Culture News Updates are now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. You can also watch Marvel Bros. Live every Sunday on Facebook.com, or you can watch them on YouTube where we upload regularly. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Marvel Bros 23 to keep up with all things Marvel and everything pop culture.